and welcome back to episode 7 of Conversations with Rob and Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Marky didn't suggest a name change, so we're stuck with that.
Yeah, for now at
Yeah,
least.
for now. All right.
I will hopefully think of one.
Yeah,
I'll try
I don't
to, at
know. I
least.
keep thinking I should think of one, but it
Yeah.
took so long to think of this one.
Did it?
It took
Yeah.
a long time.
Honestly,
what
this
were
isn't-
the other iterations? I forget what we were thinking of.
I can't remember. Like,
I can't remember what they were, but they weren't good. It was bad stuff.
yeah, honestly, I don't think we had that many good ideas.
Yeah.
Like this one isn't bad.
This isn't bad. This is like the best.
It's too long, but it's.
Oh, there was something almost cringy that we came up with, and you turned it down. You said no to it. I forget what it was.
I don't remember.
It was a big deal, and then I came up with Conversations with Rob and Lou. I don't know what it
I probably
was.
blocked it from my memory.
Yeah, I think I blocked it from mine too. It was bad.
If it was bad,
It was cringy.
Good thing for Josh.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll remember later. I'll post it in the comments. All right.
Yeah.
The first card.
Yes.
Not the first card, but the card we're doing this episode. 10 of Spades. What is your favorite family memory?
Memory. Wow.
Wow. Favorite family memory. I don't know.
The one I thought of is not my favorite. But,
Okay.
never mind. This is actually
Okay, all right,
That's
not
not
that
even
one.
that funny.
All right. It's tough to think of my absolute favorite, but favorite off the top of my head is my first memory, actually. My
Wow.
first ever memory. I was standing not too far away from where we are right now, actually, just like 30 feet in the kitchen.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was probably 4 or 5, and my mom she would give us these multivitamins, these chalky multivitamins that were in the
Yeah.
shapes of animals like a giraffe and a lion.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to take the whole multivitamin, but that wasn't safe, or it wasn't, recommended for
right.
my age. So she would always cut them in half. And I remember standing there asking, "Can I have the whole multivitamin?" And she said no.
Wow.
And that's the first memory. It's not my favorite memory, but
Yeah.
that's just what I can come up with off the top of my
Nice.
head.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember about like really old memories I have.
Yeah, that's my oldest. So
Yeah, nice. I have a memory of, so like not the house I live at now, but like when I was like, I think when I was 4, we moved. But the first house we were at, the backyard would flood in really big storms sometimes.
wow.
Because it was like, I think we were next to a creek or something. And there was a pretty big storm outside, and we were all just like in the kitchen looking out with like a sliding glass window and just looking at like a river in the backyard.
Wow.
And it was really cool. Like,
That's cool, with fish jumping out of it. And
no, it wasn't like an actual river, but it was like,
it was like Noah's Ark.
it was like flowing water. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
It was pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
I probably should have been scared, but it was just cool to me as a kid.
We always get those flash flood warnings,
Yeah,
and I never see a flood.
me neither.
I guess, well, you did.
Yeah.
But I guess
Yeah, yeah.
I'm living on a hill. My neighbors probably see a flood.
So, yeah, I'm also on
Yeah.
a hill these days.
Okay. Wow. So you
So-
saw the flood, even though you were on a hill?
No, this is like my old house.
Okay.
Yeah,
Old house.
my current house. I've never seen a flood there.
Yeah, your neighbors would have been underwater if you were.
Yeah, right. Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
but yeah,
something that I was curious about, because we were just watching it,
sure.
was your thoughts. Do you believe that it's not, do you believe in it, but do you believe it's possible? Because I know a lot of people firmly believe in it. In any kind of spirit or afterlife kind of thing where you remain on Earth, and you're maybe a ghost, or you could manipulate matter with your spirit or something after you're dead. Any kind of ghost thing.
I hate
Supernatural.
I hate to say it, but no, I don't believe either
At all.
one of
You
them.
don't even believe it's possible.
Mm,
I think it's possible.
I don't think so.
You don't think it's possible?
I like okay. I like the idea of what's it called, like panpsychism or something, whereas people talk about how like maybe all of consciousness is kind of just like a field that we're tuning into,
Yeah.
and it's like consciousness is just like a thing in the universe, and human brains can just like tune into like the frequency or whatever. I like that idea. I don't believe in it, but if that is true, then ghosts maybe it's just like a lingering,
Yeah. Lingering
You know,
effect.
like a little bit of like your consciousness is still there somehow. I don't believe in that though. But-
Okay. Well, I don't want people to think that I believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
I don't think they're real. I think it's possible that they're real.
Okay.
I think that sometimes there's weird stuff that goes on and people just can't quite explain it.
That's true.
And there's a lot of fakery. Like, sure, a lot of people are hoaxing and
definitely-
just trying to get attention.
I have a feeling
That a lot of the
like
stuff
with
that we think
UFOs,
is-
probably
yeah.
most of it is fake, but there could be some real.
The UFOs.
Actually, yeah, maybe that's bad.
I don't know. The UFOs I
Based on
tend to
our-
believe in even more.
Yeah, I definitely believe. Yeah,
Okay.
no, but I think probably 99% of ghost stuff is bullshit.
Okay.
But I guess I should be open to the idea.
I think, okay, here's what I think. That what people perceive as ghosts could be something else. Like, it doesn't literally have to be their idea. Like, it's the spirit that's lingering. Like, maybe it
Yeah.
is some alien thing. Like,
Oh.
they're sending down some kind of energy, or like a cloaked kind of alien life form that's maybe not like a humanoid. It's maybe not even like matter. It's just like this field of energy that moves around. Like, who knows if there's
Yeah.
something from another universe,
Honestly, this sounds really far-fetched, but at the same time,
Yeah.
we can't really rule it out.
or if stuff from other dimensions, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, ghosts don't have to be like the spirit of a dead loved one. It could just be
Yeah.
like another dimension kind of like flickering into this one. Who knows what's going on?
That's a little bit more far-fetched.
That does sound very far-fetched.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well, here's
Another
the thing.
dimension.
What I've heard real scientists talk about how there are other dimensions.
Yeah, okay, so
And
theoretically,
maybe,
theoretically, there's like, in like string theory and stuff, there's higher dimensions. And I don't
what
know,
are
so-
higher dimensions? Just like
Okay,
after
so-
time, like that's the fourth, and then
Yeah, so like, when you say like other dimensions, you're talking about like the video game thing of like,
of
the-
like different worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people do use it like that, but I think like mathematically, another dimension is just like each dimension is like length, height, and width or whatever, and then there's new like spatial dimensions that we can't really imagine really. But it's like, I think one thing that kind of makes sense to me, because I don't know about this, the string theory thing is kind of esoteric, but I think in like the quantum theory sort of thing, there's like, you know, like the Schrodinger's cat, where there's the cat is alive and dead at the same time.
Yes.
One theory is that it is alive and dead at the same time in different universes.
That's what I'm thinking of. The different
Yeah.
universes,
and
maybe
it's
not
like
different
all
dimensions.
parallel.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like
Parallel universes, yeah.
parallel universes.
Because I've heard Neil deGrasse Tyson, I believe, talk about that and how there's a you who makes like a slightly different decision from you
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I guess
I really want to believe in that.
I almost have to, like, because it's almost backed up by a lot of stuff, like kind of all the fundamental quantum theories and stuff kind of predict that, I think.
Yeah.
As far as I understand, I'm no quantum physicist, but
And
just
that sounds
seems
like a really
weird.
cool situation.
It just seems like it doesn't make sense, but it's almost has to be true.
And here's the thing that I tend to think about that. If there are infinite possibilities, then there must be a universe like that is manipulating other universes.
It's
yeah?
not infinite, but
Okay, so it's not infinite.
yeah. So
Why
it's
is
only
it finite?
it's only as many like splits. Like, so each time there's like a decision that you make or whatever. It's not because your brain is doing something. It's like there's like a quantum entanglement or whatever, where like one quantum particle is randomly choosing between two things.
But then there must be an infinite number of them, right? Because we make decisions all the time, and like everyone's making decisions.
Yeah, I don't know if it's infinite. Well, okay, I'm not sure about that. Infinity is really like a complex
Impossible
thing.
to, but like
But no, but I
such a
think-
high number that it's almost.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
effectively infinite,
Yeah.
but it is within limits. It's like, it's not like it's necessarily like every single possibility. I think that's kind of a misinterpretation.
Okay.
But maybe it's most possibilities.
Yeah, I feel like if
Yeah.
like, why would it just be possibilities that are within the realm of like we could think this is reasonable? Like, why would it just be
Yeah.
that? You've got to think like we just think things are reasonable because that's how
Yeah,
things are right
that's
here
true.
for us now. So,
Oh yeah. What were you gonna say? Because
what was
it
I
is
going to say about?
there's some universe manipulating things.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That, like, theoretically, there could be one of those universes where they discover, like, some kind of technology that lets you reach through other universes. Maybe it's not that well developed where you can actually, like, walk through a portal.
Yeah.
But maybe you're in your house and you're using some ray or some, I don't know exactly what it would be, but you're
Yeah.
manipulating your house in a different universe, and that's what people think of as ghosts.
Yeah.
Like in the house where some old loved one died,
Right.
maybe when they go back to that house, they see their old loved one who didn't die.
Yeah.
And they're, I don't know, that's actually kind of dumb. That's probably not what's going on there.
I-
Very
I-
slim.
You
Slim
You
likelihood.
had to be at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, well, it doesn't have to be like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to incorporate the dumb stuff people believe.
Because the issue, you're talking about like the same human like houses and stuff.
Yeah.
But we had this technology.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
That's true.
That-
It
that's
doesn't necessarily
That's
have
what I was
to be
talking like time travel.
It
but-
could just be different stuff, like maybe there's
Yeah.
a lab built here and
But
some
no,
other
I think
reality, yeah.
I think that it's possible that like like there's just like some line of formation in like the universe that leads to some sort of like some civilization that can do some sort of like super like weird physics like thing that we can't imagine, where they can communicate with other universes.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
Once we make AI, if it's being made in basically unlimited universes, it's gonna figure out how to do something like that, right? Like if you
Just
made an
link
AI,
up between all of them.
oh, that would be cool.
Wow.
That would be very cool. I think that's the plot of Star Trek.
Really?
One of the new Star Treks, yeah.
Interesting.
The AIs all try to. Well, I won't spoil. No, I will. Okay, the AIs all try to.
I mean, I haven't seen Star Trek.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's Star Trek Picard, I think.
Oh, yeah.
The new one, yeah.
I watched like one episode of that.
It's basically about how there's an AI
Mhm.
and it sends one AI back into different universes, I think, like just a copy of many different forms of the same person, and
Mhm.
I think she eventually just like goes to the AI homeworld that exists in every universe and shows them the formula for how
Yeah,
to link up with the AI, and then they all do. And it's, yeah.
that's
it's
cool.
interesting.
I think that's. I haven't seen it, but I have a feeling it's flawed,
It's definitely
and that the AI would just be super powerful.
it will. Yes.
Like, there would be no plot. The AI would just win instantly at whatever it is.
yes.
I don't know what
I
happens
think
in
the
the show,
idea was she didn't know she was an AI.
Oh,
She's programmed to be a human. So
interesting.
it was something dumb.
Ah,
I watched it
right.
a long time ago. I probably butchered the explanation of it.
Sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay.
All right, we shouldn't get too far into
Too far
the
into AI. No.
The AI rabbit
No.
hole.
But it doesn't have to be an AI. It could be anything that's super intelligent. Do you think
Yeah.
it's at all possible to travel between these universes?
I mean,
If they exist, right? We're really
Yeah.
into the theoretical
Yeah,
side
really.
of things now.
it's okay. I think based on my limited understanding of the current quantum physics stuff, I think the universes likely exist, but that there's no way, like, I don't know of any way to do that. But we really don't know what's going on.
We
so
don't
it could
know
be.
anything.
There's a decent chance you could,
I believe,
but I don't know.
I forget who it was who invented radio,
Mm-hmm.
but he was talking about doing that to his friends and maybe family, and they almost got him committed to an insane asylum because he was saying, I'm going to send voices through the air
Yeah.
that no one can hear until they have the machine on the other side, and people thought he was crazy, so they
That's not
almost
crazy.
committed him to an insane. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
was just using science. So
That's true.
that is really interesting how,
Yeah.
you got to watch out. Maybe we're persecuting some people who are scientists before they should be persecuted. Like maybe we haven't actually done all the research. Yeah.
Persecuted as in like saying they're dumb. or-
Saying, yeah, like they're dumb, just
They're
shutting
wrong.
them down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of that.
That is probably true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that reminds me of a quote that is probably is very overused. I saw the YouTube comments of it's like Arthur C. Clarke
Yeah?
said that like any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Talking about like usually talking about aliens.
Someone
and
put
stuff.
that in our comments?
No.
No,
don't
yeah,
think
we
it's
don't
clear.
get. Marky didn't put that. So
We don't get cool
there's-
comments like that.
No. We need comments like that, Marky,
Yeah.
please.
But he's just said the exact quote.
Wait, yeah.
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 But it makes sense. Like, I was also thinking about quantum computers. Like, those seem like magic right now. Like,
How so? I thought they were kind of primitive and they weren't
I
actually
know.
doing that much.
actually, no, I'm changing the subject too quickly.
Okay.
Back to never mind. I need to slow down sometimes. Yeah, what you're talking about with people inventing new things, like it really does. Back then, it really seemed like magic when they were making radios for the first time. and
Oh yeah,
stuff.
it does. And I bet that the wizards in the courts of medieval times would just
Oh,
be
yeah.
using. I think a lot of it was just astronomy and understanding, like, hey, there's going to be an
Mhm.
eclipse,
Yeah.
and I can tell people this, and then they're going to think I'm magic, and that I'm doing it. Yeah,
or
I
like
think-
weird like chemistry things that like
Yeah.
make cool colors or
or
something.
meteorology. I don't know exactly what you could do to determine that.
Look
Like,
about
I don't
it.
even think we
Yeah.
have a great way of determining that right now with all the technology we
Yeah,
have,
it's limited. I
but it's
think.
questionable. Yeah,
It's pretty good. Like
is it?
yeah, like meteorology data is like really good. Like I don't think it was even that good like 5 years ago.
Wow.
We can like predict like every hour what temperature it is and stuff. It's usually right.
Okay, that's fairly good.
We've gotten good, but
I think we can do it like today, like for the next 24 hours maybe,
Mhm.
but not like next week. Like when they say it's going to rain
Yeah.
next week, I think like take that with a grain of salt. Like
Yeah.
it might not actually.
definitely.
Like it might almost be like a 50% chance that it actually
I think
rains.
I think as it goes on, it becomes less and less.
I think it becomes very questionable. Just because like
it's just impossible.
there's too many factors. Like the wind blowing over 100 miles away could
Yeah.
affect where the wind is blowing here. Like
It's like the butterfly effect. sort
it's
of
too
thing.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if humans are affecting the weather. Like with global warming.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, well, yes, on a very grand scale, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean more so like in a city,
Mhm.
if we happen to put out like more fumes and pollution and heat that day,
Uh-huh.
do we affect the weather? Like
That
even
day?
slight, like not that day, but like in a day or two? Is it like less likely to rain because we're in a hot zone and all the water's getting pushed out?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that sort of thing has to build up. But
Okay. So you don't think it's on such a grand scale that, like, in Beijing, they got the factories running.
Yeah, and
It's
like
not going
above,
to rain the next day, yeah.
in that city. Like,
Yeah, in that city.
Like over time, you mean?
I'm talking about, like,
Like-
on one really busy 24-hour period where they've got all the stuff going,
Mhm.
as opposed to, like, a time when maybe they just didn't have it going. Like in an
Sure.
alternate universe where they didn't have it going versus they had it going. Yeah, hypothetically.
Yeah.
Not literally in the
Sure.
alternate universe. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Would the weather be different? I think it might.
I wonder. I think it
Might be
definitely,
slightly.
it definitely changes things a little bit. Like it can cause like smog and acid rain and stuff.
Yes.
But I don't know if it would change the temperature that suddenly. I think it takes time for things to get into the atmosphere.
Mm.
I don't know.
Like, what if we're just running all of these? Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Energy is neither created nor destroyed, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that we use generates heat as a byproduct.
Yeah.
Like the TV, even the camera's producing heat right now.
Mm.
The lights, like imagine all the electricity that we're using, all the cars that we're using
Yeah.
in a small space like New York,
Mhm.
and we're just pumping hundreds of millions of gallons of oil into that.
Right. Yeah. Heat pollution is a thing.
That's for real.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like, on a busy day in New York, where there are 10 million people living in a
Mhm.
very tight space, are they producing just, like, maybe 1 degree more, 2 degrees more?
I don't remember exactly. I think that is a thing.
I bet.
That,
it
like
is.
cities get really hot.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I was watching somebody about I think it was Singapore, where they've started like putting a bunch of plants and stuff on buildings,
Yeah.
and it like actually lowers the temperature because they,
Yeah.
I guess they absorb whatever heat and like block the sun a little bit.
Yes, I think, yeah, like, if you just have
Yeah.
black pavement and stuff. That,
Yeah. Also, yeah, because plants do something called transpiration,
Yeah.
where they're basically like releasing water vapor like we do with sweat,
Yeah.
and they basically they're able to lower the temperature of like wherever they are. So I think
I
cities
feel
really
like
do.
transpiration would raise the temperature, right? Because can heat transfer more easily through moist air than...
Or yeah, it can, but it's
Yeah.
like more like
Maybe it lets the heat go away faster?
yeah, like it takes up like it stores energy in the vapor.
And then it goes up into the clouds
Yeah.
and it's out of the city.
Pretty
Oh,
much,
okay.
yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, no, I think that is an issue with like so many buildings and like
Wow.
so much electronics and stuff.
So are plants really releasing that much water? Because I feel like 10 million people, we're all, like, every
We
time
have-
you breathe out of your nose, you're releasing water, so...
Yeah, well, no, plants. The way it works, I think, is that from my limited knowledge of plants,
Yeah.
I need to avoid saying things too much as fact.
Yeah.
But-
Don't take anything we say seriously, by the
Yes,
way.
I have no expert,
Yeah.
but I think my understanding is that plants sort of like water evaporates from their leaves, and that allows more water to get dragged up, like from the bottom of the plant, and it's
Okay.
sort of like a continual like flow of water, where the water comes out and then gets dragged in through the roots.
But we're kind of doing the same thing, like, even while we're talking, water's
Yeah.
coming out of our mouths.
It's different because like we have muscles and stuff to like move, like to pick up a glass and then
Yes.
pour it down our throats and stuff.
Oh,
With plants, it's like they don't have any like movement really. They have to like have everything based on like pressure and like the pipes of their stuff, like their tissues and stuff.
Okay. Well, I don't expect you to know this, but if you had to take your best guess,
Sure.
what would you say would release more water in like a 5-hour period of, you know,
Mhm.
we're not like, just a human who's not working out or anything, just kind of sitting talking like we are,
Yeah.
or a plant that's
Right.
relatively the same size as the human? What do you think would release more water?
You mean like a small like a bush or something that's our height?
Yeah, that's our height, yeah, our size. Maybe our weight,
Sure.
I would say, like with branches and bark and all that.
Yeah. I would think a human.
I would too.
I think human or like animals are on like a faster time scale. You know, like
Yeah.
we move around pretty fast.
I think the way that we would know that is because if you put a mirror up in front of our face and we
Mhm.
breathe, like,
Oh yeah.
you would see the
There's a
steam
lot of
on it, yeah. And a plant, I don't think there's anywhere you could hold a mirror up to it. That,
No.
yeah, no.
I think over time, like, well, I'd say greenhouses get really humid, but that's not just on plants. It's also
I
just
think
like,
that's because they're holding in all the moisture, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone brings water in and then closes it in,
Yeah.
and the plants are just releasing it. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't understand how much water they really give off, but it's definitely not as much as humans.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
No, but that is a really good thing, and like by a really good thing, I mean the fact that people are planting
Yeah,
things
that's good.
in cities. That's really good.
Yes, it's necessary, probably.
And I am really appreciative of the fact that when I go upstairs and I look out my window,
Mhm.
I'm in a forest.
That is nice.
I can't see other houses. Like I can see other houses that are right next to me, but if I just look straight out, I can't see the sky. It's blocked by trees.
Right.
That's
That's
very
fine.
nice. I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah, I've been for walks in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
It is cool. It's a weird sort of thing. Like, like my neighborhood is pretty much like this one. We're kind of like in a temperate region where there's a lot of trees and stuff in the neighborhoods,
Yeah.
and just like a lot of grass and plants and stuff. But it's like, I don't know, like it's definitely better than a city, but it still feels a little unnatural. I'm just walking on this like paved path next to a road
Yes.
full of cars.
That is kind of strange. I
Like-
think that's the happy medium, though. I think
It probably is. Like if everybody lived like that, wouldn't be horrible.
no. I think it'd probably be a lot better, perhaps pollution-wise, because, or at least for the overall environment, because I was literally looking out the window the other day, like 2 days ago, and there were 4 deer in the backyard.
Right.
Big deer too. Like they had antlers and everything. They were huge.
That's really cool. I've never
So,
seen that. Actually, I've seen the deer with the other, but like, not in my neighborhood. Definitely.
I also think that a lot of people definitely over-groom their backyards and really make them unnatural and spray the whole thing with like pesticide
Yeah,
and
that's
weed.
weird.
Yeah, and weed
I don't
killer.
get the people being really serious about like making their yard look super good.
No, I don't do anything to it. I let whatever nature's gonna do it. This house is where I live.
Mhm.
That's where nature lives out there. So
Yes.
I think that's a good way to do it. I think if everyone did that, at least in the United States,
Mhm.
I can imagine a pretty big difference being made in the overall health of the environment. Like deer would be living
Probably,
here.
yeah.
I would be worried that there would be too many predators.
That could be bad, yeah.
Yeah, I think that we would then need to just like
Become too much of too natural almost.
I think we need to legalize just hunting, like in the area. Like you get a permit, you have to go through some courses, and you know, like, hey, don't shoot people,
Yeah.
just wolves and bears.
I don't think it's a good idea.
You don't think?
I think hunting is.
like,
I think
no-
hunting is a little bit unnatural too. Like,
no,
just
it's
because-
the most natural thing.
I don't know. I was thinking about this a little bit.
Yeah,
People that talk about hunting with the bow and arrow
yeah, that's
that are using like
Yeah.
a pretty simple, like primitive, or not primitive, but like very basic bow and arrow, where like they don't have that much of an advantage.
Yeah.
Or they have an advantage over like a deer or something, but it's not like people that have some $2,000 bow with like a sight and like
Yeah.
a laser,
That's
and
true, that's
they can
true.
like pull it back a little bit and it just like shoots at like the speed of sound,
yeah.
or even just like a gun. Like
A gun is
guns are just so OP
Yeah.
compared to an animal. Like
No, I agree.
it's almost
But
just
we're doing it to kill the predators only. Like I'm saying, if we just killed predators,
Yeah, yeah.
leave the deer would eventually overpopulate, and we would
and
need
the
to
predators
make
would go extinct.
the predators
Just kill it all.
in the areas where humans live, which is what we want, right? We wouldn't be going into the forest and killing the predators.
Sure.
We would say like, hey, if you see some in your neighborhood, kill it because you don't want a bear eating a kid or a dog.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think in that case it's almost better to keep the nature out, because then I don't know.
But then the whole world is at stake. Like then
Yeah.
you're losing the nature and you're really
Then-
killing species that
Yeah,
live
then
in
it
that
almost
area.
seems better to just have cities and keep people isolated and like have nature do its own thing almost.
I mean, I think that we don't cover that much of the world. I'm not sure what percentage of it. But
Yeah,
actual human life, it must be less than 1%.
I think a lot of it's farmland in the US.
A lot of it's farmland, yeah. A lot of it's that. Yeah, a lot of it is farmland. But if we just spread people out a little bit more,
Yeah,
maybe everyone has a garden in their backyard.
sure.
I don't know. I feel like there's a much more sustainable way that we could do this,
Yeah.
as opposed to just like big human centers with huge cities.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like
Yeah, I think there must be a better way.
because there's kind of a trade-off of like like one option you have these like islands of just like heat pollution
Destruction,
and just
yeah.
like it's just like a horrible
You kill
environmental
everything
place.
there, yeah.
And then the
that
rest
seems
is
really bad.
fine. No, maybe not fine, but fairly natural. You know, let nature
Yeah.
do its thing. Or you have everybody spread out and it's like this semi-natural.
Yeah, semi-natural. The thing is, I feel like this house,
Mhm.
being here, did not bother those deer that were 20 feet away from it.
I think it.
I think they were just sitting there, they were liking it. As long as people don't like over-groom their backyards and do nonsense there.
I think they might like it, but it's different. Like it's not. It's definitely not the same as having
I agree.
trees and stuff
It's
here.
not the same. I mean, there are trees, but...
But I
But you
think
mean just trees?
if it was like a forest, there'd be
Yeah.
probably more trees
Yes.
or like. I don't know,
Yes,
I
the
think
population
it'd
of
be
deer
much
would
more-
probably be more sparse in this situation if we just had houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like the whole world is going to be covered in these suburban
Suburbs,
areas.
yeah.
Like, I think,
Yeah.
some of it.
Sure.
Probably, it would have to be a larger percentage if we didn't have the cities.
Mhm.
But I really feel like the cities maybe just do a lot of damage. Like,
Yeah.
it just maybe one of the real reasons why you'd want to do this is because the lives of people in the cities, I think their lifespan is 10 years less on average. Yeah, living in
Because
a
of the
city.
pollution.
Just because of, I don't know exactly why.
I can see that being.
Yeah, but I think like part of it's probably the pollution.
Mhm.
Part of it's probably just like you're not meant to be so piled on top of each other, and the stress of like this sucks.
Yeah.
You're not moving around that much. You don't have to go very far to get anything. You're probably not exercising that much.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of factors to it. You have a bunch
Yeah.
of really good food around, and you're eating that all the time.
Yeah, I haven't really like spent much time in cities, but
Yeah,
I imagine it is probably a weird place to live. Like,
it's very fun to visit.
yeah, it's very cool to visit, but like, yeah, like I don't see people going, or I can't imagine someone going for a walk in their neighborhood when their neighborhood is like
No,
New York.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, that probably is pretty bad. Like,
Yeah,
you're just stuck in these huge metal boxes and stuff.
yeah. But no, when I look outside,
Yeah.
I see a pretty natural area.
Hmm.
And I don't think the streets aren't ideal. Yes, actually, this would be bad if there were a bunch of deer because there would probably be a lot more car accidents.
Yeah,
Yeah, you would need self-driving cars probably,
sure. Or flying cars.
flying cars.
If-
the birds,
What do you mean?
there'd be too many birds.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If
Imagine,
yeah.
I mean, that would be horrific. Bird
Birds.
flies into your engine and then
Oh sure.
the whole car's coming crashing down from who knows how
Yeah.
high into
I-
somebody's house.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, I don't want flying cars.
Well, no, okay, it'd be cool to have, just like keep, like get rid of the roads,
Yeah.
like unearth them and plant trees or whatever, but then keep where they are, kind of.
Wait. All right, this thing ran out of battery. It's done.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
That's so dumb.
bullshit. Bullshit.
Do we have any audio on the camera?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We have audio on the camera, so
Don't you picked your mic back up?
yeah, I did.
Like it's working anymore.
I hope that it saves
Wow.
something there.
Yeah. Is it
Um,
really just dead?
It's dead. Yeah, screen's black.
That's so shitty.
Fucking thing. Like it doesn't really warn you. Like I'm low on battery
Yeah.
versus.
Well,
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching episode 7.
Yeah.
This 7 is the unlucky number, right?
it's lucky.
Is the lucky number? Yeah, sure.
It's
it
not
is.
for us.
Sure it is. Yeah.
It's fine. I'm pretty tired.
I am. Yeah.
As we were having the conversation, I'm like, we've been talking about this for too long, but I'm like, I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
I'm just
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the subscribe
You
button.
can actually hear us.
If you can hear it, you can definitely, unless the camera's out too. It's
Oh,
out of
wow.
batteries. Everything's dead.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see you guys in the next one.
Yes, thank you for watching.